Da-da-da. Come on. Close that. Alright. Now, get my reference. Hello. I'm thinking of reworking Jolly's last girlfriend's artwork. I mean, there's still Honey, but we can do her later. But Rey never got a fleshed out final art. Did I change Rey's name too? I forget. No, I'm thinking of a different character. But yeah, so let's do Rey. I definitely want Rey to look more shark-like. So I'll put up Rey's old artwork. And then we're gonna... Jesus, that is bright. Put a filter over this, and that way it's not so bright. But yeah, I'm basically gonna make her final art, but I'm gonna completely redesign the old idea. I finished the page, it's on Patreon, so go there to read it. I was never gonna show the final on stream. I was working on the next page, but I can't show that one on stream because of nudity. Well, nudity is allowed, but I can't do it in the context of what the nudity is there for. So that's why I can't show it on stream. I know it's a weird line with YouTube, but it's a line I have to deal with. Well, when the comic is done and finished and I put like whatever extra artwork that I plan on giving it, then you can buy it when I put it up for sale, if you don't want to do Patreon. Alright, so let's do Rey's final art. I want to lean more into Rey looking like a shark rather than just having shark features. As well as leaning more into the whole her being mistaken as a man scenario that Jolly had said in hi-hat. Yep, Shork. Let's see. I think I want to do it this way. You know what? I should bring up Sean's artwork just to have a ballpark thought. There we go. That helps a lot. Did I ever post her? I don't think I did. If I did, she was probably in some promo thing that I probably ended up removing after a certain point. But this is another one of Jolly's girlfriends who has been established. She just never got any official art, and so I decided to redesign her artwork to be just better than what I originally had, because I wanted to look more like a shark than what the original looked like. Was she ever on Dropbox? Let me see. I don't think she was there, but let me find out just in case. Characters. Gates. Is Ray on here? Nope, just Zoe. I need to put Ida on here. I'll have to do that later. Or I could just do it right now. File. Where's Ida? There she is. I'll put her old artwork up there too. New folder. And I'll do all the extra stuff later. Alright. But yeah, she's the character that Jolly mentions during Skylar and Marcy's night at the seafood place. Yeah, so you can see how long I've been holding on to this character just from that page alone. Slender this up just a little bit. And as for a maid, I do have a maid, and also, unfortunately, she also doesn't have official art either. The only one art that I have of her at the moment is this one. This folder. Open up. Open up. Let me find it. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Here's the maid. And in case this maid seems familiar, no, not you. Yes, you. And let's do this without revealing too much. No, no, no. Where's the good one? Ah, here we go. So yeah. Yeah, hi. Anyway. Need to redo the face a little bit better, but still, yeah, hi. Yeah, exactly. YouTube's weird. It's like you can't do nudity. You can draw nudity, you just can't do kinky nudity. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. It's kind of like a flip a coin and find out. Hello. But yeah, so I do have a maid character. I have several. Anyway, back to Shark. Just soften her nose just a little bit so it's not as pointy. Not so much making her muscular, but just more like more masculine. In comparison, because obviously we have like Honey, who's a kickboxer, so she would have some muscle on her, and then Mia definitely fights, so she's well toned. So it's more so just to make it easier to mistaken her as male. might change her eyelashes, but I don't see it as being too much of a problem. You know what? I'll make it similar to Sean's. Yeah, I heard about Ozzy passing. May he rest in peace. Me and Fern talking about Fat Marciello pick. Figured if Miss Diamond saw her like that, she would resist culling her. Yeah, probably. She'd probably lose her mind, be like, oh my god, she's like a big old plushie. Probably to her dismay. Oh, I've said that a few times. It was funny. One time I got paid $3 to scare some people, so that was fun. I was at a my friend's daughter's school's Halloween event, so I dressed up as the maid, and of course I never say anything when I'm dressed up as the maid because the whole point is that the maid never speaks. And some people wanted me to scare other people, so they paid me $3. And I had the bunny purse, did I have the bunny purse? I think I did. I had the bunny purse, but I didn't feel like putting the money in there, so I just put the money in my top. And when my friend came back, I pulled the money out. She's like, "What the hell?" So that was a fun time. She's like, "How the fuck did you make money?" I was like, "Don't worry about it." There was one event that apparently I was too spooky or whatever, and so security had to ask me to leave because parents were like trying to figure out if I actually should be at the event or whatever, because they didn't see me with my friend group, so they just assumed that I was a random person. And I was like, why didn't you guys just come up to me and ask? Like, they didn't even bother asking me. And then they saw people taking pictures with me too, so it wasn't like I was doing anything. So, I don't know. Plus, they thought it was my costume was too scary or whatever, so I was like, alright, fine, next time I'm coming as the fucking cat. The cat was awesome because I went to Dutch Brothers and Chuck E. Cheese, and they gave me free shit for dressing as a cat. So I was like, cool. Cat gets me free shit. Oh no, not the con. The convention was Comic-Con. I'm talking about Halloween. But still, like, yeah, I mean, I made money. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, it was just because it was like elementary school that they asked me to leave for that event. Just because my Hello Kitty, no. It was because my maid costume was apparently too scary. which is funny because I have much scarier outfits, or at least one of them is much scarier. But next time I'll just wear the kitty outfit that I had for when I went to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I'll bring up that one real quick. Where are you? Should be this one. Yes. Where's a good picture of it? There it is. This is what I wore for last year, and I went to Chuck E. Cheese dressed as this. And they gave me free games. And Dutch Bros gave me a free drink. So, I'll show this one last thing. Where are they? I think I have them elsewhere. Thought I named it. Ah, here we go. So far, here's the list of cosplays I have. This one... Let me grab a red. This one needs work. I've got to get a bigger pen than that. This one needs work, especially since I got more stuff since then. This one needs work. So the ones I'm circling are the ones that need work. This one kinda needs work. This one could have some adjustments. I can kinda tweak this one a bit if I want to, but ultimately it's fine the way it is. And yeah, and I still have 2 other costumes I haven't worn yet, because every time I wanted to wear them, something happened where I couldn't wear them. Like somebody canceled on me or whatever, so I just never had the chance to wear them. Actually, 3 costumes. There's a 3rd one. The 3rd one I did wear, but I don't like the way it came out when I wore it, so I'm gonna tweak it. So I have pictures of it, but I don't want to show it. I just don't. It just doesn't gel with me right now. So yeah, I have 3 other costumes. Oh wait, no, I have 4. I can show the 4th one. Hold on, I'll show that one real quick. I forgot. I forgot I wore this. Where's the picture? Why is it not in this folder? That's weird. Here we go. So I wore this one for this year's Comic-Con. I got better gloves than the ones I'm wearing right now. Though the new ones I got shortly after look way better than these. But I'll have to wear them the next time. But yeah, this is my Kamen Rider one. With a custom mask and armor. And then I'll bring up another picture for it. Got this one. It's a good way to show it. This one. So here's me wearing it. Debating on getting different shoes, but I don't hate these either. I think it's just because of the bottom part, but I wouldn't mind getting something with heels to look nicer. And then I might change the skirt to have some white on top, so that way it looks more maid-like. So some small tweaks to it that I'll do. And then here's some shots of the armor and mask. So here's the mask from the side. I'll let it linger for a little bit so you can see it. Oh no, I did not hand make it. I commissioned people. If trust me, if I knew how to make this shit on my own, I definitely would. The Kamen Rider mask does not light up. How the fuck does that costume have your art set? It looks like you. Well, the Kamen Rider thing, I did design it myself. Hold on. Yes, that's my chest plate, and yes, those are my tits. Anyway, the Kamen Rider thing I did design. Let me bring up these three. So here's the artwork I did. So I drew it up and tried to be as detailed as I could when I was telling the person that I commissioned to make it. So here's the chest plate. Here's the mask. Because I was going off of Bitter Gov from Kamen Rider Gov, but like I made tweaks to the mask to look more like the way that I would do it. And then here's like the body and stuff like that. I did it really quickly. Some of the armor stuff I didn't use in the end, like the legs and all that. Like I could have did the legs this way, but I chose not to when I actually wore it. I debated on putting on the headdress, but I was like, nah, it doesn't need that. If I do add it, I'll add it in later at some point, if I feel like it, or if it's necessary. So yeah, there's a chest plate, and then here's both of them. Imagine a Marcy cosplay. That would take so much work. Which of my characters would I cosplay if I could? If we're talking just like a straight up furry outfit, or like, yeah, a fursuit and all that, probably Becky. That would make the most sense because she's like the most unique one. And any other character wouldn't really work too well. I don't know, it kind of depends. It depends on who I could commission to do it, how well could I put it all together to make it look good. Definitely depends on the character, because there's just some characters that I can't do, period, the end. So yeah, preferably Becky, but I could see myself doing Jolly as well, if I just get like a cartoony rabbit mask. Who else? That might, like, aside from like getting like a fur head or something, that's kind of it. I can show you the mask of the other one that I have. Like, I have this, but I haven't put it together yet. So all I have is the mask. Well, I mean, I have the entire outfit made. I just don't have pictures of me wearing it. So here's this that I had made, or that commissioned. So eventually I will wear something involving this. And then I think I can show... Do I have a picture of the mask by itself? I guess I can show this. I'm not gonna show the whole thing though, I'm just kinda like meh about it. But so here's the other one. Still needs work though, so I'm definitely gonna tweak it. Like, I'm gonna do the hair. I'm gonna like make up the hair. I'm gonna take the tiara thing off. Might have to get something to work out the outfit, so I'm gonna have something to, like a petticoat, to flow that out more. I'm gonna do something about all this. So this one just definitely needs more tweaks. And then I need to move the long hair out of the way, because some of it are like kind of like dreadlocks, kind of. Like, think of like Knuckles, but they're like, you know, more flowy and curled. So it just needs work. What was another one? Oh, there was one more, but I don't know. I don't think I have a picture of it. I don't think I have a picture of it. Let me see. Da da da. No, no, no. Oh yeah, there was that outfit that I wore, but that one was kind of cobbled together, so I don't count that one as an outfit. Yeah, there is one more, but I don't have a picture of it on here. No, or my choice isn't my Persona Vaughn. No, just because I don't think I could do that one justice. Like, as much as I would love to wear like certain ones, like, you know, like Viro, like if I could get one made of Viro, or I don't know, like Daylock or whatever. Like, of course I would make them as if possible, but there are just some of them that I feel would look too goofy to pull off in real life. So Becky is just like a makes more sense. Like she's like in that weird spot of like cartoony, but also not, and that's why it would work. If that makes sense. She's like just in that sweet spot where it could work. Like if you could think of like Daisy Duck type of mentality, then that's why at like Disneyland type of cosplay, then that's why it makes sense. At least to me. The way I'm thinking of it. But like Vaughn, it wouldn't work. Yeah, that's why I try to go for whatever I can pull off, realistically, or at least from my stance. So like when I wore the SCP one, I had a lot of fun with that. Let me grab that one real quick. Where are you? Let me grab a picture that doesn't suck. This is fine. Why is it flipped? There we go. This one was fun because the eyes glow. Let me see if I have another one. There's this one. And then, yes, I do have goat legs to go with it. I want to get canine ones, but the goat ones were the first ones that I saw. Because at the time they didn't have the canine ones, or at least when I bought these. But I do want to get canine ones at some point. That way I can switch the goat legs to another character. Or to another cosplay. this up a little bit. Anyway, yeah, I like the cosplay. Costume room devoted to these. No, I just have them in a lot of bins. Maybe someday I'll have a costume room, but today is not that day. I would probably still keep them in bins regardless, because I'd be too paranoid about like dust or whatever ruining them. I mean, obviously I would cover them in plastic, but still, I think I would just keep them all in bins in that room. People will be like, what's in here? Like, don't worry about it. It was funny because I took a picture with one of my friends, and she's like much shorter, and I was wearing the maid outfit, so my fake boobs were like right in her face as we were getting close for a picture. So that shit was funny. It was funny because she talked about that on her stream. She was like, his tits were in my face. And then one of my other friends asked me, like, oh, okay, so how does it feel having tits? And I was like, you know what? I feel confident and powerful. And she's like, shut up. Those are fun times. Let's do this song. But yeah, like, if I can, I would love to commission another Kamen Rider themed one. But I'm definitely gonna wait a bit before I do that again, because I just got the first one this year. If I did go for a second one, I'd probably try to go for a full detail one, because the only things I commissioned from the person was a helmet and chest plate and the shoulder armor. If I did it again, I would probably want the full deal, like full on custom. So like the undersuit, the feet, legs, arms, like every part possible. If I did it again. Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, you should totally do that when you get a chance to go to a cosplay event. And even if you don't go to like an event or anything, there's always Halloween itself, which is basically a universal event. So there's always that you can use if one doesn't come up. Let's fix this up. Oh yeah, same. Halloween's my favorite holiday. Love Halloween. If I did do another Kamen Rider one, I'd either want it to be dragon themed, or this is like a toss between like a mantis Or part of me wants to say rabbit, but why not? I can always just combine the two. I would just have to come up with a decent design for it. But yeah, like something along those lines. But Dragon 1 would be easy to do. I just gotta design it, but I'm definitely gonna wait before I do that again. What am I doing? If I can, I try to get the belt customized as well. But I prefer if I can like take something that exists and then modify it to work in a particular way. Or just get like a makeshift belt made. Or a customized belt made. And just make it look like it functions. That would be ideal. Alright, have a good night. Yeah, like there are some places that just have like areas for cosplayers to take photos and stuff like that. I would probably have to look around to see if there's anything like that where I live. But like in Japan, they have like buildings dedicated to stuff like that with like custom themes and stuff. Where it's like, oh, you want a dungeon room? Here's a dungeon room, and you take a bunch of dungeon pics. Or it's like, oh, you want like a fancy mansion looking like room? Here you go. And I'm like, damn, I hate you guys for having this. I would so take pictures there. I would just be like, I'll just tell my friends like, hey, you want to dress up? And be like, yay, and then we go. But most of the time, I only get to do that either for Comic-Con or Halloween. Although I could potentially do that just like on random days too. But it's one of those things where you gotta like plan it out. Because the last thing you want to do is, you know, get all dressed up and then your friend or whatever can't do so for whatever reason. And granted, I could probably like just dress up and take pics around the house or yard or something, but I don't know. I think it's just better when I save it for special occasions. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, if you ever do get to cosplay, you know, take advantage of the areas and stuff. But yeah, hopefully I can tweak the costumes that still need work and wear the other two that I haven't worn. Oh, that's good. Glad your wrist is doing better. That's good. Like, even if you're only drawing a little bit, it's better than nothing. Oh yeah, definitely, do your best to not overdo it. For some reason, this part of the song reminds me of the old Iron Man cartoon. The opening. That's gonna be the stupidest fucking movie I've ever become aware of his existence of. I'm more surprised that stuff even got merged, because all it is, it's taking assets from a known series and just slamming it into a toilet. Like I don't even know if they really changed the face other than making it grin. Like, does that really count as a separate property? But I mean, it got this far, I guess so. But the fact that they're making a movie of it, I'm just like, is there even a fucking story? Like, I wasn't even aware there was a fucking story to that. But fuck it, if that thing can make merch in a movie at this point, then fuck, anything can at that after that. Which, I mean, that's technically a good thing for the rest of us. Like, you know what? Don't even get mad. That's a good thing. If that can get popular somehow, then there's hope for the rest of us. Right. I'm just curious on where that actually goes because he technically didn't create the assets to create Skibidi Toilet. Because the character's head is from another character. Or an existing character. All we do is put him in a toilet, so I guess if that's considered enough for copyright, I mean, I don't know if it's been challenged at all, but assuming that it hasn't been challenged or that it's already gone through the process of not dealing with copyright, then I guess that's fine. Like, I'm not mad if the person makes money off of that. I'm just more surprised that it got that far, knowing that it's based off of, or that the base of it is from another property. But yeah, like if it got this far, then more power to him. Yeah, like I assume it. Well, then I mean, like, isn't the person from like? I think the person was from. I thought the person was from Russia. I might be thinking of somebody else. But again, like if the person's able to do it and get this far, more power to them. As long as there's no legal stuff that they have to deal with, then yeah. Well, he bought the license, so whatever the legality of the license is, that would decide it. So you'd have to read up on what the license is to know whether or not he actually owns it. I mean, I don't know the licensing contract with the or licensing terms when it comes to the Valve stuff. There we go, Half-Life. That's what I was thinking that character was from. Yeah, so it just depends on what is the legality behind all that. Like if he made custom artwork after the fact and then that's what he has copyright over, then that's a whole different thing. So it just depends on if he like made his own art of the character and such after the fact. Because then that would be fine. Hello. Like the beginnings of it could be based off of existing assets and stuff like that, but if he like makes it his own after the fact, then it should be fine. But then again, I don't know, because fucking Ken Benders owns Evil Sonic. So I don't know how the fuck that works. Because he didn't create Sonic. And all Evil Sonic is Sonic wearing sunglasses and a jacket and some shoes. Or some black boots, if we're counting that version, because he's worn the normal boots too. And then he is evil. And that's like the only discerning differences. So if he's able to get away with that, then I don't fucking know. Copyright is weird. It's kind of like the logic of Miss Pac-Man. How Namco doesn't own Miss Pac-Man. Another company owns Miss Pac-Man. And that's why they eventually removed her from future games and made a new character called Pac-Woman, or whatever the hell his name was, Pac-Lady. Hold on, let me find out now. Now I gotta know this. Miss Pac-Man replaced... What was her name? Pac-Mom, there we go. So I don't even know how the hell that works. That's like me taking Big Bird and then making a female version of Big Bird. And I just call it like Big Chicken or something. And then that's a new character despite being based off of Big Bird. Like, I don't understand how that works, but it does. Or at least in the cases that people got away with it. So, who knows? Maybe it doesn't work for everything. Maybe it's just extremely situational. You know what? I'm just gonna make this go all the way up. It's like, I don't know how the hell you got that to work out, but sure. New Marvel villain. Well, I mean, the same shit happens with Marvel and DC. They have like very similar characters, but at least it's not as like so fucking blatant that it's like the same character but wearing like sunglasses or something. Because like at least with Marvel and DC, they like make effort to design the characters different enough where it's like, okay, cool, they're obviously different characters despite having similar abilities and shit. But then when it comes to like Miss Pac-Man and Evil Sonic, it's like, okay, how the hell did this work? Does this work? Because they're both based on existing characters. I'll say Miss Pac-Man just a little bit less, just because she is her own unique character. She's not like Pac-Man, but like it's not like Pac-Man who turns into a woman or anything like that. It's just a different character with Pac-Man in her name. Whereas with Evil Sonic, it's literally just Sonic but evil. Obviously, he's still his own character, but it's just weird on how that works when it's based off of an existing character. And then obviously Miss Pac-Man would have to be the same thing because she wouldn't exist without Pac-Man. So it's just me questioning the legality of how that works. But I guess they're just different enough where their creators can get away with it. But again, that leads to my main thought about Skibidi Toilet is like, I don't understand how taking a character from another game or from a game, putting his head in a toilet, and that's classified as a different character. But assuming they went through all the legal shit already, then I guess they're fine. I mean, for all I know, Valve probably gets a cut of it, for all I know. Well, yeah, intellectual property, that's what it's called, but again, you still have to figure out if you made enough changes to classify that as a separate character. Like, this was like a long time ago, I don't know if this still holds up now, but like before, it was supposed to be like your character had to be at least 70% different from whatever the hell it's based off of. So, I don't know where that line is when we say 70%, because it's like, okay, what does that mean exactly? It's like, do I just it's almost like, because it's kind of like the logic between or with Winnie the Pooh, how the public domain version of Winnie the Pooh is available for everybody to use, but you can't use Winnie the Pooh wearing a red shirt because that's Disney's version of the character. It's like that. So trying to figure out shit like that. Or how you can use the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse, but you can't use any other version after that. Okay, so the smiles makes the character different. Okay. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Valve could probably fight it if they really wanted to, but I don't think Valve gives a shit enough to bother. Yeah, I think it's like, hey, you made the shit yourself, even if you're using our assets, you put all of it together, you made your own lore and shit like that, it's yours, fuck it. And if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. Like, again, I'm not mad at the character or anything, I was just questioning the logic behind its creation and stuff like that. But, yeah, I would just be like, alright, cool. And if in the end, like, Valve got a small cut from it or something, just because it's using their assets, then sure, that would make sense. But if they don't even care enough to even try to get any rights to it, then that's perfectly fine. Because, you know, Valve already makes a shit ton of money just from the games being put on Steam and all that, so I don't think they would give a shit anyway. Alright, so... give her a skin-tight outfit. Yeah, from what I heard, there's like a whole war arc thing that happens. Like I haven't delved at all into the series at all. I've just seen the character and I was like, what? I think the only thing that makes me dislike the character, well, not even really the character, it's just more when people use the name of the character as more like a verb. Because they're just saying random jank as part of their vocabulary. I think that's it. Other than that, I have no feelings towards the character whatsoever. But if I ever do get into the lore, I'll see what's up about him. I mean, at this point, I've seen everything else. I might as well dive into that and see what's so special about it, or what's interesting about it. Da-da. Do I want her to copy her original look? Or do I just want to add in new shit? Probably add in new shit. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's deterred me from looking into it, was just because of all that. But I think if I just look at it on its own, then I'll feel differently about it. And luckily, that's easy for me to do. It's really easy for me to separate stuff like that from outside influence. Let's do it this way. Actually, that way it looks like a heart when she's looking forward. this up just a little bit more. Oh, I did not save this entire fucking time. I've been drawing this for an hour and a half and I didn't save once. I'll just write your name for now. We'll figure it out later. Hold on. So basically, she's basically a cross-dresser. She likes to dress in men's clothing and compete in men's sports a lot when allowed. And basically, when she meets Jolly, she meets him at a bar, and they both just like hang out and get really drunk. And the whole time, Jolly thinks that it's been a guy that he's been talking to the whole time, and they end up going to her place, and they bang, and he like Jolly was so blackout drunk that he doesn't remember doing it, and so when he wakes up with her, he's all thinking, "Fuck, I just fucked a guy," type of thing, and then he's all considering, he's like, like maybe that's not so bad, because he's like, he already has several girlfriends. Having a guy friend wouldn't be bad either. But then she reveals that no, she's female, and he's like, oh, and then she like looks at him like, you look disappointed. He's like, no. He's just surprised. But in terms of her personality and all that, she can be a little competitive, but mostly just wants to have fun competing in sports that men compete in, because she just wants like a more universal challenge type of thing. So kind of think of her as female Skylar, but more into cross-dressing. And then what else is there to say on her at the moment? I mean, it's pretty much it. Like, she's not like as she's like in the same tier as like Zoe, and oh yeah, and she's also friends with Zoe. Forgot about that. She's friends with Zoe, which that's why when Jolly's on the date with her in IHAT, that's him talking to Zoe about Rey, and thinking that Rey was a guy, and then she's just getting a chuckle out of it because they're both close friends. And that's also why Zoe's into sports the way she is. Being short and chubby, but she's like stupidly good at most sports. So both her and Rey are sports freaks. But yeah, like nothing super critical like Mia, where Mia is basically uh, is mummy the best way to put it, or resurrected mummy? That's like the best way to explain Mia. And then Honey is into kickboxing. Cherry was in a relationship with an abusive guy, and then Jolly gets her out of that situation, and she ends up learning boxing, but she doesn't really put it into practice too often. But every once in a while, she'll be in a scenario where she uses it for self-defense, not realizing that she's a really good she has a really mean hook or like either arm. Ida is the spy. Venus is the dominatrix who got herself modified to be a cyborg. And that should be all 7. Cherry, Mia, Honey, Venus, Rey, Zoe, and Ida. Yes. Could probably say she's one of the taller ones in the group. I think the muscles is a little bit too much. I'm gonna lessen it a bit. That should be fine for this arm. Because I don't want her overly toned, but just enough to pull off the look I'm going for. And then can say like Rey is a little bit into like male fashion, so you can see her wearing like suits and stuff like that. So probably like a bit of a tomboy. Alright, think I'm gonna call it for tonight, but here are the versions to compare. So here's the old school one. And her new design. Definitely a big difference. I could probably do the whole thing in her fin still back here. Is that like a small chunk taken out? Oh. Thank you for subscribing, Just a Daily. Yeah, debating on her colors actually, because I haven't really settled on her colors, because we already have Honey, who's blue. Mia is black. Cherry's pink. Zoe's green. Ida's like white or like pale, very, very, very pale yellow. Venus is more magenta, leaning purple, with some with a little bit of like dark red or like no, not mahogany. I think magenta fits it, or whatever color I'm thinking of, fuchsia or something. I'm thinking like a orangish color for her. That's what I'm leaning into, like a yellowish orange, or yeah, like brown. I was thinking that too. So yeah, I'll probably look up tiger sharks to get a better feel for the coloring. But that's what I'm thinking for her, because originally she was gonna be like bluish color at one point, but then I was like no, and I just never settled on anything. Yeah, I'm gonna look up tiger sharks and look up like natural colors for her. Because when you look at her with everybody else, it's kind of like no, I'm not doing polls. Because unfortunately I can't rely on that too much when it comes to certain biases. But yeah, like I'm leaning more towards like that. So let me just look up a tiger shark real quick just to get that in my head. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe a little bit more in the yellowish orange territory, but definitely can see like some coloring from this I can use. And I'm sure there's like other colors. Yeah, I see a good one. So yeah, I'll probably use that one as like a brownish color. So yeah, she'll probably lean more towards like brown. Maybe like maybe some mahogany for her stripes. And then like lighter colors for her like underbelly areas. So yeah, that'll probably be something I do with her. So I'll either color her during the day. Yeah, she definitely is fine, perfectly fine with her body type and all that. And she doesn't mind getting mistaken as male every so often. In Jolly's case, she finds it funny because the whole scenario between them, she just got a kick out of it. And then they start, spending time together more, and then Jolly ends up with another girlfriend, and the other women are like, seriously, again? But Ida is definitely his last girlfriend, and she ensures that that will be the case. But Ray's just fun, and then like she's fun to like go to clubs with too. Gets all like dressed up and stuff like that. Like she's the type of person that you would bring to Vegas with. And she'd probably help you try to make some money as well. She's like, all right, let's get in there. But yeah, I'll probably color her during the day and work on something else. So that, because I was already working on the next secrets page, but I can't show that on stream because of nudity and stuff like that. Which normally YouTube's fine with, but again, because it's weight gain stuff, it might be considered risque nudity. So I'm not chancing that. But yeah. So here's the new version of Rey. Once I color her, like whatever I decide to do, like if I finish the comment page early, then I'll probably either get to coloring her or work on something else. I know I still need to work on the tutorial stuff, but I'll probably work on that once I'm done with secrets, because I'm trying to work on that faster and get that over with. So once I'm done with secrets, there'll probably be like a grace period where I work on the tutorial weight gain set, and then once that's done, then can move on to the other comics and whatever else I'm doing. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I'm debating on adding more stripes, or I might add more stripes to her arms. Yeah, they just seem kind of barren. So probably just these. Legs already got it. Could probably put one on her ass. Head, sure. Just add a little bit. There we go. Anyway. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. I will stream again tomorrow night. Same time. You know, I'll make a post on Discord like I always do. But yeah, I know these are shorter streams. I'll probably do longer ones once I have less to work on in terms of like comic stuff and all that, or whatever. Like, again, this is all just like whatever I'm in the mood for, because streaming is just for fun. It's not like an important thing compared to everything else that I do. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.